Love it.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's episode of the Spy Game, where cucumbers make everything nice. Um, and we got a couple players that are mixed up, and I will fix that right quick as we go around the table here, for lack of a better term. We will start with Phil. Why don't we go ahead, Phil? Tell us who you are and who you are playing.
Hi, I'm Phil, or because Rafe on Twitch. And today I will be playing the Ranger Amazon, our lady who seems to be the muscle of the group, basically.
All right, and Bright.
Velvet. I'm Bright. I'm playing Archangel, who is the secretly smart dickhead of the group. As I've been playing him. I don't know if that's been intentional or not, but that's who I'm playing. Archangel the medic slash chode.
Okay. All right. Isla.
Hi, my name's Isla, and I've got appetizer all over my desk and my iPhone. Okay, hi. I play Phoenix, our resident hacker, who is somehow, despite her background, is trying to be the voice of reason right now. Can we not murder an entire block of people with homemade biological weapons put into a Tide pod, please?
Well,
Please. But yeah, that's my character in a nutshell right now, apparently. But
Okay.
yeah.
And I am Covenant, also known as Kurt, or Kurt, also known as Covenant. I am the handler for today. Normally we have Velvet, who is part of our cast. However, she had a prior commitment that she could not move around prior to today. So Duchess will be absent today, but will be back next week. Also, as a cool, I guess, admin note, there will be no spy game on the 9th of May. Why? Because it's Mother's Day. Go tell your mothers you love her on Mother's Day. Send her flowers or something.
spy your mom some flowers.
Spy your mom
We've-
some flowers.
We've already had Mother's Day.
Oh well, in the States we haven't. yet.
I know, it's so weird that you have it on different days. It's really
Yeah,
strange.
it is weird,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Drink an energy drink through a straw. All right, so that
No, it's the remnants of my appetizer.
okay. Okay. All right. That being said, so um, when last we left off, you guys had made it back to the your secretive apartment or whatnot. You kind of decompressed from the day. You have gone. You had all gone to. You have all taken the night and just kind of like, I'm exhausted. Gone to sleep. The next day, you wake up and you guys find a note on basically on Velvet's bed. I mean, on Duchess's bed that says, "Had something to do. Be back in a day or so."
Secret mission comes with vacation days, apparently. Well,
Wait, can we just do that? Can we just disappear? Because, I wanted to do some sightseeing and stuff.
uh,
All right,
At this point,
fine.
Amazon has the file
Mm-hmm.
on the general and is going through it page by page. Is reading every page, combing through it for everything.
Okay. Is there
Up to date.
anything specific that you are trying to look for at this point in time?
I know. I was just trying to get as much detail on him as possible. Though he's a general. Like any tactics that he tends to use, anything. But so basically, trying to get as much information about him, his methods, as
Okay.
possible.
So what you learn about the general, right, from his profile, um, basically, you learn that he is a Harvard graduate of political science and attended an exchange program with the Bundeswehr Command and Staff College in Germany. He is known as has a very charismatic personality, which many believe is just a facade for his truly deadly nature. Um, when he left the defense ministry, you find out his reasons for leaving the defense ministry is he made a very public statement that he believed that the powers that be, specifically members of the UN Security Council, were intentionally trying to keep Africa and the countries within Africa, for lack of a better term, subservient in military power and strength by ensuring that they cannot develop weapons of the first world, as he called it. He has been. The other thing that you find is that while he doesn't have like tanks per se, he does have a small amount of aircraft, specifically helicopters. None of which are like of the attack or gunship variety. They are more like transport helicopters, as well as a few technical trucks. Which, if you're unfamiliar with what a technical truck is, it's basically like a pickup truck that has a big machine gun mounted in the back of it. And that he has been operating in and close to the various game reserves. And because there are so many laws and regulations and things like that regarding those game reserves, he's using it as protection, knowing that the Kenyan government won't strike against him while he's inside there and run the risk of killing off endangered species. He is a highly paranoid individual, and he is it is believed that he is a never forget the handshake as well as the hand grenade kind of approach to dealing with others.
And is there any information about what capabilities his forces tend to have?
It is basically, for the last that they knew, is approximately 2 battalions worth of light infantry, but more than that, it's unsure. So you're looking at roughly, he's got about 1,000 men under his command.
And just seems to be just basic training. No, but among them, no. From what they gather, no specialization among things.
Nothing of that particular nature that you are aware of, or that the file alludes to.
Yeah. Okay. Again, this is gonna take me most of the day.
Oh yeah, no, you're getting basically about 2-3 hours worth of reading, right, to get all of this information compiled. A lot of it has to do with you read a lot of after action reports and whatnot that have been put together and assembled. And while he is known for his cunning, he is also known for his sheer brutality when it comes to warfare. There was one particular incident stands out to you where there was a border skirmish with Uganda, and the Ugandan forces crossed over into Kenyan territory. And when they did, he did not defeat them and send them back. No, he slaughtered every single one of those people and sent back their hands to the Ugandans as proof of the death of their soldiers.
And any mention of things like snipers that he fields?
They don't keep those kind of records. But a basic complement of light infantry would have designated marksmen and probably snipers, as well as demolitions experts.
Good to know.
All right.
jotting it down on paper as I'm going through. There's like a pad of paper beside, and
So, are we able to head back? We got back to the hotel, but like, were we able to track the vehicle by cell signal?
You were able to.
Where-
You were able to. You were able to get in. You were able to lock on to those coordinates, that of the package itself, right? And you did trace it back. However, in the process of doing so, I need Phoenix to make a. We'll go with a perception. You know, not perception. Actually, yeah, we will go with perception. We'll go with a perception check. Yep.
Okay. So that is a straight. Jesus Christ, 16.
16. While you're sitting here basically trying to track and piggyback this signal, right? Your screen does that slight flicker.
Oh.
Like, it's like briefest, like hyper brief, and it's just like, what? And then it goes back to doing exactly what you wanted it to do.
Okay, so I literally stopped what I'm doing. I was like, hold on. Can I? Ooh, still not fully up to scratch with terminology here. Can I?
Your best
Can I
friend is an infotech check.
Yeah. Well, can I essentially see if there's anything running on my system that shouldn't be?
Use an infotech. Use infotech to basically kind of like run a background diagnostics kind of thing.
9.
Something's in your system, but it's bouncing around. Like it's doing the whole, like, you're like, oh yep, the diagnostics is picking up something in this file. You go to check that file, and now the diagnostic is picking up the same thing, has shifted to another file. So it's kind of like making you chase it around inside your systems.
Can I specifically see, because I've got several devices connected.
Mm-hmm.
Can I see if it's bouncing around on just one device or all of my personal network?
It's just on this device that you're actively using to track.
Okay. So what can I do?
I don't know. I think Bright's having an aneurysm by our like hyper movieized hacking.
Okay, just I'm trying to think of alternates, and I can't.
Part of me literally just wants to like disconnect that device as a safety precaution of not letting it connect to everything else. Basically isolate. That's why I asked if it's just in that device.
It's
to isolate it from the rest of the system.
Mm-hmm.
So I yank that out of the network.
Okay, so you pull the connection cable from it.
Noticing it's bouncing around on the one device, I basically just put out the connection cable.
Okay. All right. So you pull out the connection cable, and it's like, you get your signal lost prompt, this, that, or the other, whatnot, right? Yeah. But your little diagnostic window that's showing you is showing it's still bouncing around inside the hard drive of the computer, hitting file here, hitting file there, hitting file here, hitting file there.
Okay, can I run checks to see if those files are remaining the same? So whatever's in the system, is it just bouncing, or is it corrupting as it bounces?
It's not corrupting, it's copying.
It's copying.
Yep. You make another infotech roll if you like.
It's copying. 25, not 20.
Okay. You realize all those personnel files that you copied and uploaded to your data pad and then thus into the computer network on all the other people inside your group, it's copying those files page at a time individually. Okay, so and it's bouncing around.
As it's copying, can I see if it's routing if it's sending them somewhere, or if it's just in the process of copying?
It was until you pulled out the connection cable. It can
Okay.
no longer send, but it's still copying the data because that's what its function is to do, is to copy and send out the data.
Okay, but I've isolated it, so it can't send it off anymore.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. Based on the moment that I took the device, basically, do I have like a data log to which it can tell me the exact second of which I ripped the cable out?
Mm-hmm.
And based on that, is there a way I could tell when the file was last tapped into by this program, and I can coordinate with that and basically essentially tell what has been and what hasn't been transmitted from my device to external?
Sure. Go ahead and make a. This is specifically on gather. This feels, as much as this is like gathering information and stuff like that, I still feel like this would be very much based in the infotech realm for what you're doing.
Okay.
So, but because you rolled that nat 20 and you got a 5 on top of that for that 25. Basically what was sent out from what was copied, right, was not complete data, right? But you are certain that every single one of your names has been sent out.
Okay. Right. Well, now that I've got it isolated on the system, it can copy all at once. It's not going anywhere. So what I want to do is essentially route. Can I see a pattern to which it's bouncing around, or is it random?
It's randomized, but it feels, but like the feeling, I guess you could say feeling, your natural instincts are showing you that it's doing it in such a way as to where it wouldn't be picked up by someone who doesn't know what they're looking for. Like, you actively know what you're looking for when it comes to this. It's something similar to what you would use to try and get into somebody's personal computer to gather information about them and who they are and what they do.
So it's not. So it's basically it's not someone in the system. Someone has basically chucked a very basic program into my system, and it's doing what it's programmed to do.
It's a very basic program, yes. However, It is one of those programs that would be very, very cleverly hidden.
Would be?
Yes. I mean,
but I've spotted it.
You've spotted it, right?
Okay.
But this would be something that you would use in most cases to try and gather information on people.
Okay. So if it's something I would use, and naturally I might have a way of knowing how to counter it, right?
Correct. Yeah.
So is there a way I could, I don't know, like isolate it? If it's an automated program, it's not gonna be biased to any particular file, so it's not like I can bait it into a corner.
Right. Yes. No. You can. Now that you are disconnected from a network, from an outside information source, you can you can go through, find it, destroy it. You know what I'm saying? So it's no longer reporting or collecting data or anything along those lines on your computer.
I don't want to destroy it. I want to isolate it and trap it if I can do that.
Sure.
I don't know if it's possible. I mean, Bryant would know if that's possible. I do not. But we're in the realms of
Quarantine.
fiction. We can quarantine it.
Yep.
We can
You can
quarantine
quarantine the files, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to quarantine the files or the program or whatnot, please.
Okay.
Yes, we got there.
Yeah. Yep. You will
Yeah,
quarantine.
yes, please.
You will quarantine all the files that it had gotten.
Okay, so now I can only bounce around amongst files that it's already copied.
No.
essentially.
You've essentially stopped it from bouncing around,
Okay,
but the
cool.
information that it had gathered, right? It took those files and quarantined them off, so you can see exactly what it had collected.
Okay, excellent. But if I've basically quarantined the program, can I get into the? I want to get into the guts of that program,
Okay.
and I want to start looking at its coding.
Okay.
Signs of tells. If it was written
Make
in a certain way.
espionage check.
I can do. What do Germans say when they don't want to do something?
9. No.
9. They say 9.
They say 9. Is that with all of your stuff?
That's
Hacker?
with my mod, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Wow.
It looks familiar, but you can't quite place it. You're doing the whole like.
Familiar.
You're like, I should know what this is. I should know what this is. I should know what this is.
Okay.
Do
I
you?
should know what this is.
Do you? inform the rest of your group, or no, or what do you do?
Well, now that I've got it isolated,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they probably frantically saw me doing stuff.
Yes.
Like, I already type fast, but they probably saw me like scrambling. I've ripped a cable out. If I was in a conversation with someone, I just dead stopped.
Okay.
So, yeah, and I've managed to pause myself now, and I kind of swivel around and go, somebody's been rooting in my system.
At this, that kind of captures your attention. Amazon, and Archangel's over there like making himself a cold brew coffee or something along those lines. It's kind of like, what?
Yeah, cold malaria.
Someone had the audacity to root through my network.
What they get?
Names. Our names. Well, operator names. I don't think they got anything official. It's isolated. It's been quarantined. And as soon as I realized it was replicating files and sending them off, I disconnected it from transmitting, but it did get some information out. And I can't quite identify who sent it in, but I can work on that. I wouldn't say we're compromised, just maybe alerted, I guess.
And Amazon's now going to start looking to see if there's any. Well, that's going to give Amazon the idea to start looking through the file for any like known associates or any like known lieutenants among the general's organization to any stand up.
Nothing that stands out to you particularly.
Kurt, can I compare the coding in this program to the coding of my own very similar programs?
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to run a comparison.
Okay. Go ahead. You know what? I'll have you make a... I'll have you use espionage for this one because it is more of an investigative and kind of intel gathering-esque type deal for me is what it feels like.
17.
17. You notice that it almost mirrors a prototype program that you were developing in Onyx right before you left.
Sneaky fuckers. I'm going to keep this information to myself.
Okay.
Actually, my head flops down and my hair kind of flops down in front of it, and then just kind of like do this big wipe and just like hair back again, as if to like exasperation of what I just found out.
Okay.
I'm not particularly pleased with that.
Everything right there, Phoenix?
Yes, just feel like an idiot that somebody managed to get into the network. That is all.
You are muted, Bright.
How far into the network did they get?
From what I can tell, it was a really fairly basic program. It's not that intelligent. It just bounces around between files, copying and transmitting. No bias towards any particular files, just information. And anything on my network is well, if I came across it, I'd consider it quite juicy, actually.
This is why I use this. Can't be hacked.
Now is not the time for being smug, honestly.
I know.
Were you able to find out who?
I'll need further time to look on it.
Yeah, I guess. Don't waste any. Let's get on it. We can't really afford to be... We can't afford to have our pants pulled down now.
In that case, Kurt,
Yes.
I would like to, using my very lovely setup, I want to try and backdoor into Onyx.
Okay. You will definitely be making. You're gonna make an infotech roll, promptly followed by an espionage roll.
Okay, so first roll is 19.
Real quick, which computer are you using?
Well, okay, so the way I was envisioning things, the reason I disconnected that one device, I was actually using my laptop hooked up to the main computer to
Okay.
run the tracking.
All right.
I've disconnected the laptop from the main network, and I've got the computer that's
Okay.
hooked up to the satellite device in order to run the backdoor.
Okay. All right. So you got a 19, and that was your infotech roll?
If that's the first one you asked for, then
Okay.
yes.
Yep.
And the second is a 15.
Espionage. Okay, fair enough. All right.
Yep.
You managed to get past the entry firewalls, and you are in the. You basically went in through a maintenance server to access the intranet of the system.
Okay.
What are you looking for?
I would. Okay. Can I take control of their intercom for their headquarters?
At Onyx?
Yes.
You probably could.
Or because I would know certain people within Onyx, right?
I mean, you know a couple people who still work there, sure.
Okay. Because I'm thinking along the lines of I want to I'm a bit pissed at this and I would like to berate someone. So I'd like to communicate with someone there.
Oh, you're going like full Karen on somebody there, huh?
Hey, whoa, 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 whoa. It's
Do you need to
kinda.
speak
Do
to
it.
a manager?
Anyone, I don't care.
Okay. Are you actively going to try and seek out like someone who you used to know that's there, or are you going to, are you just going to like freaking like f-bomb the crap out of their servers?
Whilst I'm talking to someone, I'm gonna upload a program.
Okay. All right then. What are you going? Who are you going? You get a hold of, we'll say, an old colleague.
Okay.
We'll call this colleague Paul.
Just before anything, just Paul. Just before anything goes live, I basically turn to Amazon and Archangel. Where are you at the moment? You like behind me?
I'm like still at a table, documents spread out as I'm reading through, taking notes. I've taken over the main table.
Okay. I basically swivel and say, I might need you to leave the room for a moment.
Really? Now? Like, people choose the weirdest times to touch themselves during this.
Wow, that escalated quickly.
And I'm gonna okay, and head up to the roof.
All right.
Yeah, Archangel leaves and goes to the lobby. He's just reading medical docs that he downloaded from D.A.G.R before leaving.
Okay. All right then. So Phoenix, you are talking to Paul.
Okay, whilst this is going on, is there anything I can be doing to basically root out where that program could have been transmitted from?
Espionage roll.
Okay. If I didn't... 9! What is with my 9s today? I've had 3 9s. Okay. That was my roll for that one. I am literally going to open up small talk with Paul as if nothing's happened.
Why?
Which is going to be super sus, but...
Yeah, he's why are you contacting me?
Paul, hello.
What do you want? I'd get fired just for talking to you. What do you want?
Really? I mean, I could be doing you a favor with that.
No, you can't.
Yeah,
Not
I
all
mean-
of us are rich white girls. It doesn't work that way.
Listen, I didn't inherit anything, Paul. I worked for everything. So we don't need to have that conversation right now. I was actually just calling to see how you were. I was thinking about you.
What? Oh, you were? Well, I mean,
Yeah.
like, what do you mean? You were thinking about me? What?
Yeah,
What do
just
you mean?
you came up in my thoughts. You know, I was talking to another Paul, and I thought, do you know who I should catch up with right now? Paul, just Paul. You know, my main man, Paul.
You don't even know my last name.
Do we even need last names? If I put the and put it in italics in front of your name, you are the Paul.
Um, you know what? Go ahead and make a persuasion check on that one to see whether or not this is really working.
Okay, what's my mod for that? I don't think I have a mod for
Charisma,
it.
whatever your charisma mod is.
I do have a mod for that. 15.
Okay, so he's kind of believing it. He's like, okay. Um, he's like, okay. Well, I mean, I guess not. I mean, so like, you like in town or something or what?
A couple of towns away, but I'm only passing through. You know, business. You know how it is, right? But you know, just wanted to catch up, see how you're doing. Clearly, based on this dark silhouette of yours, because Onyx, for some reason, don't like to light their offices very well. I guess it was part of their charm. But you look like you've been working out.
I kind of been doing, you know. So what do you want? What? I mean, like, what? What are we doing here? What?
My eyes dart to my other screen, and is my program picking up anything?
Like, where's the signal being traced to?
Is it narrowing anything down?
Oh yes, yeah.
Okay. What am I able to ascertain?
The information so far went from your terminal to Onyx, and then from Onyx it bounced out, and it's trying to figure out where it went from Onyx's servers out to where.
Okay, so is it deciding it's not based at Onyx?
Yeah, like it's like basically it was routed through Onyx servers.
Okay. Okay, so just as a little, I'm going to ask Bright here. Technically speaking, if you're running a VPN, a good VPN, then Onyx could have transmitted it, but it could have bounced out of Onyx anyway if Onyx decided to use a good VPN, right?
Somebody's remoted into a computer on an Onyx server, like if they're terminal serving into a computer, like on their server at Onyx, then yeah, they could have transferred it to whatever remote computer they've accessed and then downloaded it to their personal PC.
Okay. Shoot. I don't know where to take that. Oh no.
You get a, like it's starting to pull up a map on your screen as the signal's starting to lock in as to where the information being sent.
Is it zooming and enhancing?
Oh, of course. It's totally.
I have the ultra zoom enhance program. It's
yes.
part of my.
Here we do all of the zooming and all of the enhancing.
All the enhancing.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Fen VPN.
So, TM
in that
done
right
it,
now.
Called it.
Yeah.
TM. Okay, so I'm still talking to Paul. And let's say. Oh yeah, how's Drake?
Gone.
Gone? Why gone?
Left shortly after you did.
Why would Drake? That doesn't make any sense. Drake's like hardline Onyx, like ride or die Onyx.
Because he got a better job.
Oh, I really must have misjudged Drake. Then, and like, I'm kind of still maintaining this conversation, but looking at the other screen, like, okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
It locks onto a satellite receiver on a cargo freighter in the middle of the Red Sea.
Where did Drake go? Where did he move to?
I don't know. He said he got hired on to some other company, some other private security firm.
You don't run checks on people who leave Onyx and go other places?
Well, we don't run checks on you.
Lies. Why wouldn't you do that?
We don't have a need to.
Great point, Paul. Okay. Well, regardless, it was lovely catching up with you, and we should get coffee sometime. Okay, bye.
What? That's how you get it all. What?
Nice.
Okay, so you trace the signal back to where the data has been sent, and it has been sent to a satellite receiver on a cargo ship, like a cargo container ship, in the middle of the Red Sea.
Middle of the Red Sea. Okay. And is the cargo ship? Ooh, this is fun. This is fun. If I can tell it's on a cargo ship, can I bring up its shipping details? Basically, like the ship, like the equivalent of a ship's VIN.
Yeah, I mean, you can. I mean, it's got a name, but like you can.
Oh yeah. Ship. What's a ship name? What's a ship?
Evergreen.
Well, we won't have any trouble chasing it. Guess they got nothing better to do right now. Okay.
It has a very peculiar piloting pattern. But no, the ship is just called the Excelsior 2.
The Excelsior 2. Okay. Wonderful. And does it have a route at the moment, or is it basically docked?
No. It is traveling south along the Red Sea with a projected port of call in 4 days for Port Jordan, Kenya.
Oh.
One more time.
Oh. Okay. All right. Fantastic. Can I rip every piece of information about the shipping manifest to my system, please?
You can make an you can make an espionage roll on this particular one to try and pull what you can from it.
And we have 11. It's an 11.
Okay. You have shipping. You have a shipping manifest.
Yeah.
You have a crew complement, and you have projected. And you also manage with that to get its Port Authority approval paperwork.
Okay. Can I, based on the Port Authority, and I can see the Port Authority, can I potentially... sorry, I'm literally making this whole sequence here, like one line, like narrow-minded here. Can I, based on the Port Authority, get into their digital system and bring up a history of the ship and see if there's any difference between its current crew detail and its crew detail in previous iterations?
Yes. It's one thing that you do notice, which is rather odd about it, is that this cargo ship has 12 passengers.
Okay, so 12 non-crew based passengers. Okay.
The majority of the crew has remained the same for the better part of a year or so, and it's conducted five major hauls in the last year, with roughly the same crew. I mean, obviously, like a onesie or twosie has changed out here and there, but past that, no. I mean, yeah, it's pretty much been the same crew for about the last year.
Okay.
It is an independently owned and chartered ship. It is not part of any particular fleet. That much you do know.
Okay. With that, then, I would typically like to ascertain, if possible, who owns the ship.
A guy by the name of Jim Bell.
Jim Bell. Okay, and lastly, because I could do this for hours. Jim Bell. What can I find out about Jim Bell?
Maritime naval officer. Been one for about 22 years.
Okay.
He's run several cargo. He's been the skipper of several cargo ships before. And he's been all around South America, Central America ports, as well as most of the major African ports.
Okay. All right. I won't necessarily dig any further into that, and I basically call back to I call back to Archangel. literally drawing blanks now. And I call for Archangel.
That was fast.
Yeah, I'm good at what I do.
Ew.
Wait, what? No, no, nothing. Come over here.
Yeah. All right, sure. What's up?
I just point at the screen. What do you see?
I see a laptop. I see the screen with a ship manifest on it. I see Evergreen.
It's not Evergreen. It's similar. It's not. It's Excelsior too. Like, the point is, that ship just tried to hack me.
Okay. Where is it?
In the Red Sea currently.
Yeah. Can you stop them?
Depends how high tech the ship is. Actually, I wonder if I could route into its electronic systems and completely jam the engines up. That's something, actually. Before I divulge into the rest of the information that I have on this, can I stop the ship from moving?
I will state at this particular point in time, hacking GPS satellites to manipulate the computers on nautical ships falls a touch out of your purview.
Sci-fi. Yeah, that's very sci-fi, actually. That's a good point. Yeah. Yeah, that's not how it works. Okay.
Let me rephrase. Can you stop them from hacking you? So that we can continue to do our job.
Sorry, Archangel. Yeah, that's a good point. Sorry, I sometimes just run away with an idea. Okay. At the moment, now that I know where they are, I can look at setting up firewalls that are pointed in that direction, essentially. But it might take a minute,
Okay.
if that makes sense. Now, the rest of the information is, it arrives in Kenya in 4 days.
When the rest of the information, what do you mean by that?
Well,
the rest of what information?
As in, like, the details of the ship, like where it's going, how long it's going to take to get there.
Oh,
You know, just it's coming to Kenya, and it will be here in 4 days.
do you know what they're carrying? Like,
I don't know exactly what they're carrying, but I do know there's 12 guests on there.
here's the question, Techie. Do we care what they're carrying? Or do we just care that they're an enemy combatant trying to gain access to your computer and you could just F-bomb their computer and let it go?
Hold on.
Is-
Dots. There's a weapons deal going down in 4 days. There is a ship heading for Kenya that doesn't like me or what I'm doing. My reasoning is the weapon is on the ship.
Sure. What do you suggest we do then? Do we intercept this ship in Kenya directly? Or do you see if there's a way that you can do this remote and shut them down before they arrive?
Well, I'm wondering, we need to deal with this weapons deal, right? We need to stop this from happening. If there is VX on that ship, then, well, as long as it doesn't get to port, I'm just theorizing that once it gets to land, it will be more difficult to get a hold of. Whereas if it's actually on the ship, then I don't know. How does it work? They send a team to stop the ship? They can raid the ship. I mean, where's the ship going to go? It's in the Red Sea, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not like it's just going to take off into the abyss or go underwater or fly
How did you
in space.
find the How did you find the ship, Phoenix?
I looked at the coding on the program that dipped into my system. It's very similar to a prototype program I wrote up a couple years ago when I worked for another organization.
Okay.
So I dug into a back door I left for that organization that I used to be part of, and realized that the signal was being bounced through that organization, and I traced it back to this ship. It seems to be the general geolocation.
This organization, I won't ask, do they have access to computer-guided weapons of any kind?
No.
Kurt, do they?
No.
No.
They're
No.
predominantly like, while they are a security firm, they're more of a information security and physical security type institution.
Why are we working so hard at this? Why don't we just tip off local authorities that they have some drugs on board or something like that, so that we can hold them off from unloading the ship until we get there?
Well, that's what I'm saying. We just stop the ship. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Yeah. That's
My initial request was because if they had some sort of weapons, we could just blow the ship up in the middle of ocean and forget about it. It's out in the middle of the Red Sea. Who cares?
I mean, what if they had the VX? Releasing a nerve agent into the Red Sea.
Yeah, eventually it'll dissipate, but it's in the middle of the Red Sea. I'm not sure that the Red Sea has any natural resources that anybody's after, let
Okay.
alone
I don't know much about the Red Sea.
it's a large salt mass.
Well, I mean, I don't know if there's any. Okay, I trust you know these things. You're smart, and you seem learned. So
You seem
Yeah,
learned.
sure thing. Okay, right. Well, or we could just tip off command.
Yeah, that's a possibility, though they may send us to handle that,
That's a good point.
rather than giving us, the proper. We're in a hotel with like secret buttons and stuff. Like, I don't anticipate them sending in the heavy artillery, something public, to handle it. I anticipate them sending us to go deal with it.
All right.
To that end, I think it'd probably be best if we just shut it down as quickly as we can. If we're gonna go there anyway, regardless of what we do, we may as well buy ourselves some time. So why not report to Kenyan authorities, the Port Authority, that there are potential drugs. Give them an anonymous tip. It'll give them enough reasonable cause to stop the ship and search it, and searching it takes time.
Okay. Actually, I'll get on that. Yeah, sure thing. Kurt, I'd like to do that.
Okay.
I'd like to
We'll go ahead and make.
best method of doing that.
I mean, it's kind of complex. Some super spy stuff. You know what? Let's go ahead and use. Well, first off, we'll use infotech for you to be able to get into the Port Authority systems.
Okay.
That's good.
11.
Yeah, I'll say you can probably get in there with that.
Okay.
Not like deep layer stuff, but you can get that breaking the surface
Okay.
level.
Yep. Okay. So now we're in.
Flag it as suspicious. Flag it for being stopped.
Yep.
Okay.
Just exactly that.
All right, make me a deception roll. No. How about we try espionage roll then?
But you're changing it? Okay.
Yeah. Well, what if that one's a better stat for you?
Bro.
24.
Okay. All right. You managed to flag the ship's arrival and manifest as possible. You're not able to find a hey, this ship's got illegal drugs and weapons on it kind of thing. You find a possible smuggler type flag. And you kind of go through and just start checking a bunch of stuff on it, and you're just kind of, yep, sure, that sounds good, that sounds good, that sounds good, that sounds good. and basically it's you resubmit it, right? And that part is done.
Okay, I would like to, in the meantime, monitor the course of the ship
Okay, all right.
because I get a weird feeling that if they're able to get into my system,
Mm-hmm.
if they are at all tipped off that I managed to trace them, they could start doing screwy things.
So,
Yeah.
just so you guys are piecing all the puzzles, putting all the puzzle pieces together, right?
Mm-hmm.
You were originally trying to track a case. From tracking that case, you got a bug in you, right?
Yep.
That bug sent out that information. You bounced that information off of off of servers, right? That led to the ship's location.
Yes.
All right. So that's how you're piecing that information together by tracking a case. This ship now has that information, the information that it does have on you.
Okay. Right. Okay. Which means, in my eyes, if I was going to piece that together, that the person, I just remember their name now, was it Wilson? Is it Wilson? Wilson, or whatever organization he works for, or whoever works for him, is aware that we're doing things. Either we're here, or that we're watching him, or tracing him, or something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So if we're going to do anything, we've got to be careful, right?
Sure. So, what do we do?
Well, right now
That's a good question.
Right now you've marked the Port Authority, right? The
Right.
Port Authority is aware to go and try and delay this, right? However, that may only be just that, a delay. So the other things you need to consider as well are what other things can you do, because that's only one half of the deal.
Yep.
Right? Granted, your mission is to stop the weapons deal, right? Whether it be by, whatever means. So that's really kind of where that's really kind of the focus right now, is how are you going to stop it? You know the location of where it's going to happen. You know the time, and you know the day.
And
Right.
we know
Okay.
the ship it's coming from, potentially.
Potentially, you now know the ship that it's coming off of.
Okay. Archangel, where did Amazon go?
He took up the table downstairs in the lobby. He needed a space.
I didn't. I went up to the roof.
Oh.
Yep.
I didn't see where he went, but he headed towards the stairwell.
I'm gonna try my earbug
Mm-hmm.
and see if Amazon took theirs with them, and just be like, Amazon.
Yep.
Okay, you can come back.
Thank you. And,
Thank
ca-
you.
yeah.
You are now allowed back inside.
Yeah. So, what'd you find out?
Oh, right.
Right. I'll keep it brief. So
Runs through explanation.
Regurgitate everything just said.
basically, Amazon, somebody hacked into my network and I routed it back to where it came from. Happens to be a ship currently in the Red Sea that's due to go to the Kenyan port in 4 days, which means whoever we were tracking knows we're tracking them. Well, supposedly.
Is there? Do we have any aliases that the arms dealer has? Because then we might be able to track the precise containers that those weapons might be in.
If there was, it might be in that big, thick paper file of yours.
This is on the general. This is not on the arms dealer. Then that would be in the preview of the arms dealer.
Okay. Kurt, do we have anything on the arms dealer?
You do. You have actually have a fair bit of information
Okay.
Um, all right. So basically, from the the dossier that you have on Wilson, right? Is Wilson is a former Special Forces commander of the United States Army. He has a distinguished service record, um, uh, with the highest medals and decorations that can be bestowed, and some that aren't even actually known about. Um, his chief job while he was part of that particular unit was to go to second and third world countries, train rebel forces to topple governments that the United States and NATO no longer wanted in power.
Right.
Um, there was a one such mission during the mid '90s failed. The coup attempt failed horribly, and as such, him and his entire team were pronounced killed in action, completely disavowed, and were left to fend for themselves. Um, uh, but and because they felt that he was so expendable and his team was so expendable that that he kind of is almost like on somewhat of a revenge beef. He has stated a manifesto that in that the powers that be have been in power for far too long, and as such, the world needs to change. All countries should be equal and able to govern themselves without some sort of giant overbearing council or organization dictating how countries should be ran and which countries should be in charge and which countries should not be in charge.
Right.
As such, to finance his operation, he has been known to sell. He has been known to sell weapons. Over his long and extensive career, he has made several contacts across the world. He is known to be a staunch opponent of the UN and NATO as a whole. And though he is born an American, he very much feels that the American power base has become too strong on a global platform for it being one of the smaller countries on in the global sphere. That made sense. Yeah, the global political sphere. Um, and he has been quoted as saying, "The world needs a reset button, and I'm going to push it."
Okay, so this guy is slightly insane. Or at least he has a big road ahead of him.
Well, so if we can find out the precise containers, we can. I'm not good with explosives, but we could potentially use this to our advantage and just potentially destroy the weapons on the ship. And I'm not good with explosives. There's Archangel. Have you got any training with explosives?
You're muted.
Muted.
No. Surprisingly, I, the doctor, have not had formal training in the military with explosives. I know how to carry a gun. I use a knife pretty well. And I've been trained in hand-to-hand combat, but
you know
demolition.
chemicals, right?
Sure. I wouldn't know how to set them off with a timer.
You do know, though, one thing that you do know, given your medical background and how biological and nerve agents work, is that it is in a liquid viscous state when it is inert, for lack of a better term. An explosion of some kind would in fact actually activate the agent and turn it into an airborne, and thus make it to where it's deadly and can kill
Sure.
people.
Heating anything turns it into a gas, which is second-grade earth sciences. You heat something up hot enough, it'll turn into a gas, and then becomes airborne.
So what you're saying is blowing up the ship could catalyze the agent.
Sure. Doing that at port would be a bad idea. Doing that in the middle of the sea, however, not so much. If we could find a way to do it in the middle of the sea, that'd be ideal.
Okay.
Go ahead, Phoenix.
I mean, it might sound drastic, but sink the ship?
That would be if you could find a way to do that. Do you know how we would go about tackling that task?
Most of my battlefields happen in virtual space, not actual physical. Yeah.
If you can find a place that's got some sort of like, I don't know, air to ground missile or torpedoes.
Sure. Let me just hack into USAF and I can take control of their drones and we can just drone strike the ship.
I mean, actually getting to the ship. I don't think it would be for
You
physically
took
would be.
Seriously.
No, I'm going a different tangent. For us, actually getting onto the ship wouldn't be too easy. The general actually has some choppers where it with the skills that we possess, it wouldn't be too difficult really to appropriate one of those. Fly it out to there, because if we can then with the manifest locate where the nerve agent is, we can remove that entirely. Destroy the remainder of the weapons and get the nerve agent the fuck out of there, where we can neutralize it.
Kurt, how big is the ship?
I mean, it's a cargo ship. It's a cargo container ship. So they're like 2 or 3 football fields long and about like 100, 200 meter, 100, 150 meters wide.
It's gonna be a lot of containers on there, and I would imagine that even with the shipping manifest, it's not going to say, "Hey, look, in crate 7562, it's where we keep the VX."
That's why this is a virtual battlefield that is more your expertise than mine.
Wait, hold on. Archangel, is VX traceable? Like chemical based? You know how without lead lining you can track nuclear weapons, right?
Sure. Do I know if VX leaves like a residue or a tracing? It's a nerve agent, right? So I assume it diffuses pretty quickly.
It does. Well, yes and no. It has an air hang time of about 90 minutes before it will diffuse out. However, one thing that you do know is that it does not take a whole lot for it to turn from its liquid viscous state to a gaseous state. Like room temperature will do it. So that's why more often than not, it's kept in cold storage.
Okay.
So, like, liquid nitrogen containers would be used to contain it.
Yeah.
So what do you think? Traceable? Or?
So I'll relay that. It sounds like nothing more than 90 minutes. Again, we could probably get rid of it without too much. But there is a hang time, so we would need to make sure the area would be clear for 90 minutes.
Again,
Right.
If we can, if appropriate chopper and maybe get it onto the chopper in some sort of container, then we can bring it to wherever the hell we want. Again, with potentially destroying any of the weapons on the ship. So, if we can do that stealth strike in and out.
I'm sorry, did you say stealth strike from a chopper? Like,
well, I effectively, it won't be the stealthiest. They'll probably figure it out. But then again, how many personnel as aboard? Do you know that? Do you know how many personnel's on the ship, Phoenix?
Like the actual crew count?
There were 12 guests, but
12 guests and a crew of 25.
25 crew, 12 guests, so 37 total. That we're aware of.
Okay, so 12 guests. Any information on the guests?
No.
No.
The manifest does not have any information on the 12 guests. It simply says 12 passengers.
Nothing on the manifest. And I'm assuming if they're running a team of hackers there or somebody who shouldn't be there, those details wouldn't be so openly accessible.
So we have 12 guests. One of those is going to be your nemesis. So we see them. That means 11 other individuals who are likely combat capable.
Look, I mean, not to sound big-headed, but you sometimes need a team to hack into some things that I'm running. never mind. Look, the point is, we need to get everyone off that ship if we decide to do anything screwy with it, right?
Secondary. So
No, I mean, obviously sinking a ship full of 37 people is going to be the lesser of two evils than VX being released on a whole city of people, of course. Yep, priorities, Phoenix. Okay. So you say that VX needs to be kept on ice.
correct.
We could identify the thermals, right?
Probably.
We could run some external thermals, pinpoint the exact location of it, then run a covert insertion.
I mean,
What would happen if
theoretically,
what would happen if you were to locate the container and let's say you were somehow able to turn it off? What would happen with the agent there?
turn what off?
Turn off the cooling system. Just
Oh.
just letting it ride and fall.
If the cooling
Would it-
system were to turn off once it reaches room temperature, you would see it start to turn into its gas form.
But it would be in container, so
Assumed airtight.
would it just die off in there?
I don't know about die off. It'll change states, but I don't know that its half-life changes.
Right, because it could turn into a gas, but without exposure to an actual atmosphere, it might not dissipate.
Maybe. If it's still in containment, it's not going anywhere. It's just going to be a gas in containment. Though, depending on the kind of sealant they have, the hermetic seal may not be as intense for a liquid storage.
Because obviously they wouldn't be expecting it to turn into gas form within the container, unless they did have that in there as a failsafe. I mean, they understand how dangerous these things are. They don't want them going off in their own hands.
They probably keep a good check on it.
But these are assumptions. I mean, these are mad people. They want to release nerve agents into general populations. Isn't there a team of well-trained people that like water and boats that could deal with this?
I mean, if I was still with the regiment, we'd be all over this as a good squad. But no, you've just got me, and I'm not a one-man army.
Right.
It sounds like we're going to need to go there regardless. There's not going to be a way to handle this remotely. No, this is a hands-on project.
Okay.
So we're going to need Duchess wherever she's gone.
We're going to Kenya.
We're in.
Well, the Kenyan port, anyway.
So, what are we thinking? We want to look at a assault directly on the ship while it's at sea, or that's probably our best bet because Donald's got around about 1,000 troops on here, and there's no way of fighting that. Not a chance.
Not without
dying in the process.
Well, or without Duchess, as an assault at sea would be a very simple thing. If they're trained with explosives, we could just blow a hole in their hull and sink it.
Well, I mean, we could get hold of a weapon, right?
Do you know how to use explosives? Do you know how to set the charge, the timer, to make sure we get out before it explodes?
No, but what if we had something that we could launch?
I mean, you give me a rocket launcher. A proper grenade launcher, I can use that.
Right. What's those underwater missiles?
Torpedoes?
Torpedoes. We could get a torpedo, right?
You need a ship for that.
Can you?
I mean, I can maybe find one on a market somewhere. Whether we could get it within 4 days and launch it, I don't know. But I mean, I feel like Duchess could do this, right?
This would be under her purview, yes.
I mean, no, we can't give her an anti-material rifle, but we can give her a torpedo. Maybe I'm over-exaggerating this.
Yeah.
I mean, if we had the resources for one of those, that would work.
I mean,
I don't know.
What if we asked command? I'm losing it. I'm absolutely losing it. just, hey, yeah, can we have a torpedo?
Yeah, what about a torpedo?
Oh, yeah,
We need a
sure.
torpedo.
We need a ship line. Yeah.
I'm like, hey, where in this fancy apartment did you store the torpedoes?
Where's the torpedo closet?
A little too
I know you
far
have one
inland
around
for
here.
that one.
Can we call D.A.G.R and ask them for an allowance?
Yeah, can we?
I mean, you
call
can
them?
contact command. I mean, you can contact the higher office. Sure.
Right.
who wrote down their cell? They didn't text me. Oh, we all got stuff from them, right?
Mm-hmm.
We all have their number. Call them.
Wait, somebody checked Duchess's case. Did it come with a torpedo?
No.
You know what? Just to be safe, I'm gonna open up Duchess's case.
Because you never know.
What you do notice, though, is that what was in Duchess's case is empty.
Oh,
Lift up the
like
phone.
you've been around enough to notice, right, that what her case was basically a broken down, extremely high powered rifle, and all of the components are taken out and gone.
I don't know why she's walking around with a fully assembled rifle, but
It's
That's
not
a high-tech one.
anti-material, is it?
no.
Okay, so she's a sniper. Good to know. So we got 2 reasons.
Lift the foam up. There might be something underneath. Anything?
I lift the foam.
Yeah, there's
It's just-
there's a low ball glass in there. Looks to be her favorite.
Oh, okay. Well, we're not going to throw that at the ship.
Not today.
Okay, look, I'm just saying, I could maybe get hold of something. I mean, there's already arms deals going down in Kenya. Who knows what I can find?
I mean, if you can get me an anti-tank launcher, sure, I can fire that.
I mean, they cost. Okay, it might be over the mission budget.
Mm-hmm. And to us, I do think D.A.G.R would look poorly on us for sinking the ship.
No, I mean, as Archangel said, needs must.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, we're gonna take our break halfway through here. So go ahead, stretch your
I'm so
legs,
sorry.
stretch your legs, stretch your back, grab a snack, grab a drink, and we will be back here very shortly with the second half of today's episode, Plans Within Plans.
All right. Hello, welcome to Winterville.
Nah, not quite. Hi, everybody, and we are back after our break. Hope everybody got to stretch, got to grab some good liquids. I almost said some good solid liquids, but that would not make sense. For the second half of today's episode of Plans Within Plans. All right, so at this point, you guys have used the Port Authority to, from what you can surmise, delay the shipment of this ship arriving on time. It is at least going to be delayed a day at a minimum. And then you guys have also kind of figured out where this signal where the information was being bled to from Phoenix's computer. You've also determined that how to accurately track the VX gas without actually tracking the VX gas. You can do it by tracking the actual liquid nitrogen. Because it is a hazardous chemical, those things are tracked on manifests. They're like giant red flags. All right, so that all being said, what is it you guys would like to do next?
Strap C4 to my chest. Go to Kenya and hug a boat at the Port Authority.
You're in Kenya. Kenya's the country.
Go to the Port Authority and hug a boat there. And
Wait,
squeeze it real tight.
Why are you hugging the boat?
I'm strapping C4 to my chest
Oh, no,
and then hugging the boat.
I didn't quite catch the C4 part. You're not being serious, right?
My emotions are bursting.
Oh my god.
Okay. Torpedoes and explosions aside, there's something we could do. Of course, it'd be great if I could discuss this with Duchess now as well, but I had a look at their standard operating procedures for the Docks Authority, and they will stop the boat outside the port, in the water, and take their own boats to the boat.
Boats or helicopter?
Boats.
I mean, I didn't see anything about a helicopter, but they'll take the boats and then they'll board the ship, and the ship will not be at the docks. What if we could procure fake details and we go in as part of the Port Authority team?
Perfect.
Okay.
It's doable, right?
Yeah.
I would have to ask our infiltrator if that's something we could do. I would imagine.
Totally yeah, it's totally doable.
I would imagine, but like, I mean, I don't know how feasible it'll be. That'd be a question for Duchess.
I mean, I feel like Duchess, regardless, would be willing to give it a try if it's.
That is the other side of the coin with Duchess, though, isn't it?
Or is that the concerning part?
Yeah.
It's probably not possible, but I'd sure like to try it.
Let's go. I feel like Duchess would give us the best chance, though. Like we would know for sure that we weren't gambling. We were doing it with certainty. It sounds feasible. We would just have to get on without other Port Authority agents looking at us and recognizing that we're not with the Port Authority.
Again, I believe Phoenix, you should probably be able to hack into the system and just input all the details that we need. Just go, and here is a full. No.
We don't look like people who would sign up for the Kenyan Port Authority. You know what I mean? Like, I don't talk like someone born in Kenya, and they sure as shit know that I didn't move here from New York to become a member of the Kenyan Port Authority. I didn't grow up with big stars in my eyes.
Okay,
of
Amazon,
one day becoming a Port Authority member in Kenya.
Archangel has a point. None of us look like a Kenyan Port Authority, for sure. I mean,
We can get a uniform, but like we're gonna be spotted and questioned and scrutinized.
That's why the official documentation.
no one
Do you
questions it
speak-
if it's officially on paper, right?
No, I don't speak Swahili.
We don't sound like. What's the psych profile of somebody who works for the Kenyan Port Authority? Probably somebody who was born in Kenya. Probably somebody who is, dreamed of being a police officer, but maybe, didn't want the risk of being a police officer and instead went to the Port Authority. Like,
Kurt, whilst Archangel is saying this, can I find the IDs of the General Port Authority individuals that would most likely go out to the boat?
Mm-hmm.
Just so I can bring it up on screen and go, yeah, Archangel has a really good point here.
I'll swallow the malaria pill if any of the Port Authority aren't native Kenyans who decided to work for the Port Authority someday.
So the majority of them are, in fact, native Kenyans, right? They are predominantly. You're muted. You're muted.
I don't know why it just randomly muted me for some reason.
So, like, if the question that you're trying to ask without asking, right, is yes, the majority of them are black, and the majority of them are have very native looks, native sounds to their names, everything along those lines. However, right, there are several shipping companies that have offices and warehouses from very predominantly white countries on the docks.
Okay. Are a lot of those countries shipping to Kenya?
Well, I mean, Kenya's a major shipping port for Africa.
I just got a fantastic idea that I read somewhere.
Oh, did you?
We could pretend that we were South Africans and be Johannesburg natives who decided to work for the Kenyan Port Authority and just move further north,
I see the wheels turning in his head, and I'm not sure if I should be excited or
Now,
terrified.
While I cannot necessarily say that is feasible. It's definitely, you can definitely try.
We could do that.
Yeah.
You said that the majority of them were native Kenyans. What about them? With them, you said there were one or two.
Yes.
Okay.
They are Indonesian for the majority, for the most part.
Okay.
Now, granted,
okay,
so one thing to keep in mind, right? There are white people that fucking work and live in Kenya.
No, I feel that, but like, I feel like if four Kenyan Port Authority officers showed up and they all just happened to be white Kenyan Port, I mean, it's gonna look screwy.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Especially when one of them is not even like white; he's like Hispanic looking, and and then
actually,
two of them would be. It's so weird. That's so, I don't know. That would raise questions, I feel.
Okay.
In my opinion.
But
we could forget all that if we can answer this question, which is, do we send paperwork ahead of time saying that we're coming because this ship has been flagged, and they're sending other Port Authority? Where's the ship coming from? If we could find that out, maybe we could just be like, yeah, we're sending
the ship. The ship itself is actually being shipped from Spain. Was its last port of call.
Spain.
Okay. That works better. We could definitely send paperwork ahead of time saying we're sending Spanish Port Authority members to meet with Kenyan officers at the port for this particular vessel because it is flagged. And we'll need extra assistance going through the inventory because it's a freighter. It's a freight liner heading into port, and a handful of Kenyan Port Authority members aren't going to take the time out of their entire week to search this vessel head to toe.
And also, obviously, because it came from Spain, it does
Right.
concern Spanish authorities.
Right. And we got the tip after the ship had left port, so now they're sending assistance to Kenya
Okay, this works.
for the sake of. We'll do that. Can
I mean,
you do that, Phoenix?
I can sure as hell try.
You can certainly try.
I mean,
Although,
the only downside is that I do not look like I have lived in Kenya or Spain. I am the whitest white. I am snow fucking.
You
white. I don't
obviously
even look
have
like-
not seen many Spaniards.
Check it out. Check it out. Spaniards.
Do you know what? Do you know what? You're right.
Spaniards are a very, very mixed bag. All you got to do, dye your hair. You'll look fine.
But I just got it the color I like.
You got to dye it black. You got to dye your hair black,
Do
Phoenix.
you know how many times I had to fry my scalp to be this platinum?
Do you understand that hair continues to grow? You'll get it back, Phoenix. It's
Yeah.
a mission
I will wear
Of-
a wig. Okay.
of national importance. You can't use your natural hair for one mission for the sake of national security, international security, even.
Listen, everyone has their things, okay? Duchess has her anti-material. Clearly, Amazon likes guns as well. You like cooking up illegal malaria pills in a bucket. I like having my hair how it is.
Malaria pills in a bucket. That is a leap. We were in a lab. The lab had it in a bucket.
Amazon as a
It was a lab bucket.
wetting yourself laughing at this.
The sterile bucket. I'm offended at the idea.
Listen,
You think I would just take malaria from any random bucket that wasn't labeled?
bucket malaria. I assume there are some people who live in Spain that also bleach their hair.
You would be correct.
Thank you. Thank you. Random voice.
You
Look.
would be correct.
Can you get those documents implemented into or sent to Kenyan authorities and make it look official?
Yes, yes,
That'd be
yes.
great.
I can do that. Yes.
Do whatever you want with your hair. No one's gonna question you either way.
I have one question for this, just in case, though. Does anyone here speak Spanish?
Archangel does.
I do, and so does Duchess.
Good to know, because I don't.
I also
And we might-
speak Spanish.
Oh. Okay.
So who does? Does Phoenix speak Spanish?
I speak Spanish and
All right. So
Mandarin and
so
Russian.
so Archangel and
doesn't matter.
Duchess speak first most. Phoenix speaks second most, and Amazon speaks third most Spanish.
I speak no Spanish.
Yes, third most.
Yeah.
Are you?
That is third most.
No. Do you know what? Third
Yeah.
most. In
Third
fact,
most being none.
just keep your fucking mouth shut. And now that was a reference to a movie that I thought Kurt was making.
That was.
Oh, you were making an Inglourious Bastards reference. Okay, excellent.
That's right. He
that?
speaks third most Italian. I don't speak any Italian. Exactly, third most.
It's like exactly. Just keep your fucking mouth shut.
I've never seen that, so that's on the list of you, isn't it? Then.
Oh my god, such a good movie. Please watch it. Anyway, the tangent.
All right,
but yes,
so-
please watch it.
All right. Well, for this, we'll have. Well, you know what? We'll see if your dice are really liking you now. How's that sound? Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. So, with your second most Spanish, now, granted, in order to make this look legit, right? It's gonna have to be written in Spanish.
I got you.
Ooh.
So, that being said, right, Archangel will have to assist you with all
I was
of
gonna
this.
say, yeah. What if I wrote it and he like proofread it?
More along the lines of like, he's gonna have to like look over your shoulder and be like, "No, your sentence structure's wrong there. Fix that."
Sure. Yeah.
Run it through Google Translate, you'll be fine.
Yeah, because that works. That's not a
No.
giant red flag for anything.
Sure, if
Yeah.
you want to, if you want to literally translate everything, sure.
What I'll do is we'll take the form written in English, and then I'll translate the form into Spanish, and then you'll doctor it up in whatever program, Photoshop, GIMP 2.0, whatever.
Okay.
And make it look like it was official.
All right. So for this, we're gonna make a series of espionage rolls. Yeah. All right. So Phoenix, you're gonna make an espionage roll to get what you believe is the correct documents together for this.
If this goes badly, it's like we've just uploaded like something completely irrelevant, like someone's birth certificate.
Mm-hmm. Please tell me it's a 9.
It was a nat 1.
All right. You do not find the correct, you're just staring at your computer and you zone out and a small amount wait, what was I doing? What was happening here? What?
Having come out of that quick zone, I go to the fridge to get a cold brew. Assuming there's cold brew in there.
Okay. All right then.
Because clearly hitting that peak. Well, that trough. Yeah.
Okay.
So, so Archangel, what were you going to say? Sorry.
I just watched her stare at her computer for 10 minutes.
She can't actually read any of the language that's written on her computer.
She put her computer down and went to go drink coffee, and I'm like, "Are you done? What?"
Under any normal circumstance, I would say yes, because I can work fast, but I can't identify what the correct document is.
Well, let me assist then. Can she get advantage if I'm helping her?
Yes.
I don't know that one. I'm gonna cry.
Jesus Christ.
I'm just picturing her staring at her computer going, "I don't speak Spanish."
But I do. It's on my.
No.
Although it's no comprende. 20, dirty 20.
Okay. All right. So with that, you find the correct type of documentation that you need, rooting around through the Spanish Port Authority and their website, backdooring the access and trying to find what you might need.
Yeah.
You kind of gather that particular information up as Archangel's no, not that one, not that, that one, that looks that's the right one, nope, not that, that one, sure, yep, that'll work. As he's just kind of reading it and what kind of in his head is sounding correct as what you might need. All right. And then Archangel, go ahead and you give me an espionage roll as you try and forge up some of these documents and try and make them all seem legit. He has his hands in the air, ladies and gentlemen. What possibly could this mean? That means that he has gotten a natural 20, and so as such, he creates the perfect documents capable of entering the filling them out as they look respectable and correct. And he even went so far as to find the correct seal. Whoa, that's the camera angle right there. Hey, I mean, I believe it. I believe it. It's a blurry 20. It's a blurry 20, but we'll take
clearly a 2-digit number.
But clearly a 2-digit 20 right there. Yeah,
that's not 20, that's 02.
Yeah, that's a 2, sir. That is a 2.
Got a 1, but a 2.
You're looking at... There we go.
There we go. Yeah. All right. So, with that, you get the documentation ready. You even managed to make it to where the documents have that human error in them to make them look even that much more certifiable.
I take some of Phoenix's cold brew and I dip my fingers in it and I flick it at the corner of the page. Now it'll look like some bureaucrat was drinking coffee while writing the paperwork. And then when we scan it.
Nice touch.
Even okay, as soon as he's done that, I literally go, "Good idea," and I grab the cold brew and I drop it in the bin.
Just stuck your fingers in my coffee.
Yep. Yep.
I was like, do you want another one from the fridge, Phoenix?
Lovely.
There
Right.
you go.
So this information is, you guys take this information, you input it, you set it up, you get it put into both the Spanish Port Authority as well as have the information sent off to the Kenyan Port Authority. They're specifically in Port Jordan. And so now, right, now comes the next part, the fun part. That information is there.
That wasn't the fun part?
No, that wasn't the fun part. You guys do not have a safe house in Port Jordan.
Oh, for fuck's sake! If we have to go through retail or real estate,
No. What you guys need to do though is you need to figure out, right, what you're taking from here with you.
Right. Okay. Cool.
I don't typically travel with anything that requires me to travel heavy. So, like, I'm just gonna stick with my med kit. And
We're gonna. So, what sort of weapons do these port authorities tend to carry on around here, just in case?
I would assume they have a gun.
What
I
kind
carry a
of-
knife around with me. Oh, that's a good question. Let's Google it.
I assume small arms, probably carbines or subs.
Nope, they carry MP5s. These Port Authority, they carry MP5s.
That's a sub.
Yeah.
You said no. That's a sub.
No, I never mind. Don't worry about what I thought I heard you say.
Sorry.
They carry around MP5s and shotguns predominantly for the
Ooh.
close quarters portion.
They like to keep that for close encounters.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
Too right, mate.
So, and I'm gonna go looking for see how many shotguns MP5s we potentially have around here.
I mean, there's a couple of shotguns there. Yes.
Any MP5s?
Sure.
How many?
Amazon,
For
you
one
need to
each?
have more direction than just guns.
Again,
There is enough there. There's pistols, submachine guns, and shotguns.
it's enough for like the MP5 variety to so everyone's got one. So again, we look more like the.
Yes, but one thing that is noted is that they're not. Their Port Authority isn't everybody's carrying every gun under the sun. One
Yeah.
has one has another.
Yeah. Okay. So basically okay, like two of that, two of the other.
Because they are. I don't want to use the term ragtag, but they're not all armed to the teeth. For them, this is for the most part kind of routine. The ship's been flagged for smuggling. They could be smuggling all kinds of things, right? Lots of stuff tries to get smuggled in and out of the ports. So this is something of a routine thing for them. So they're going to have
going through any sort of load, any sort of other equipment that the authorities will have on them.
I mean, they'll have things like cuffs, flashlights, stuff like that they're going to have. They'll have a first aid kit.
Can we get a dog?
Can you get a dog?
Yeah, like a canine unit. They don't. Port authorities have canine units.
They do, but you guys do not have one. The Port Authorities themselves will have canine units.
Yes, yeah, so it's the cuffs. Make sure that we have.
It's because somebody elected to go survivalist versus animal handler as far as a ranger goes, so that's why you don't have canine units. Just
Okay.
saying.
That's all right. I'll just keep virtual pets. I'll just take my Tamagotchi with me.
Jeff Bezos.
It's dead.
Okay,
Thanks for nothing.
But it's like this mission was meant to be 4 days, not 5. When I get back, my Tamagotchi's going to be dead. Yeah. So when we're forging these documents, did we give over a crew detail that's going to be sent over from Spain?
Yes.
C.
Yes.
We did.
C.
C. Okay. Wait, no. And Look, my character's supposed to be able to speak Spanish. I gotta bust out something.
Wait, no.
Biblioteca.
What the f-
La piscina? Or is that French? Anyway.
No, that's right.
Okay.
It's the pool.
Perfect. Library, pool, and good.
Dos cervezas, por favor. ¿Dónde estás al baño?
Yes. Yeah. Two.
I don't know if we're having a stream of consciousness happening right now. What are you trying to do, Fen?
Tu perro es un bocadillo con queso.
Your dog is a finger sandwich with cheese.
Right. Wow. That's.
I have no idea what I just said. I went the finger.
He just told you what you just said.
Did I say finger?
Bocadillos are like finger sandwich, like
Yeah,
small
finger
sandwiches.
sandwiches.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. Your dog is a
little
cheese
sandwiches.
sandwich. Yeah. Sorry. Okay, so did we put down that I'm cybersecurity personnel, or have I
No.
got to go on? Right.
No, you are not cybersecurity personnel. You are a Spanish customs agent.
Don't they have any form of cybersecurity?
No. Like, yeah, I'm sure they do, but not like in the sense of cybersecurity goes and searches a boat.
I need to get a laptop on board.
You can put it in a backpack.
Would they let the backpack on?
You're essentially the cops in this particular
Carrying
situation.
gear.
All right, I'm just double checking. It's all. I don't want to get down there and be like, "Cause you can't take it on." I'm like, "Well, I'm useless." I'll just
I
play
have
Gallagher.
no doubt that you could just be like, put it in the bag. What's in the bag? Flex cuffs.
A whole bag full of flex cuffs. Sorry, I'm being a dick. Yes.
All right.
Excellent. This is good. This is good.
This is good. Okay.
Yeah, it's taking some time for the document. So whilst I'm organizing the equipment, I'm also gonna plot a route from here to the port. Look at a place to stay overnight, or for when we're gonna be there. So yeah, basically doing that
Okay.
route planning, and have idea for like a few different ways out, knowing that in the port we don't have a safe house, but I don't know, is this the closest safe house that we have to the port, or is there a closer one? Okay.
Yep.
Will rent a motel.
There you go.
Oh yeah.
Will be fine.
Yep. Basically, I'm organizing that as just stuff in the background while
Sure.
they're doing the cool spy shit. I'm doing the necessary.
The necessary. You found a Motel 6. They left the light on for you. So you managed to find a motel. You find a hotel for you guys to be able to stay at. That's near the port. You have your routes planned to get there. It's gonna be about a 3.5-4 hour trip, provided there's no adverse weather, to get to Port Jordan from Nairobi. Yep. So that all you also go through and you do your weapons checks and your all of those particular things. However, you are limited in the amount of stuff that you can carry with ammunition and whatnot. So you need to you're gonna have to make choices, as well as what other tactical gear and other tactical gear you decide to bring. Archangel, you had your nose on your finger.
It's a 3-hour drive. I'm not.
Oh, you're not
I'm not
driving.
driving.
Not driving.
Yeah, not it. Not it.
I'm pretty sure that I'm driving. To be frank.
But I thought you were Amazon.
Yeah.
I'll drop a bunch of cold no-dos in your cold brew. So you won't be able to sleep for
Oh man.
the duration.
All right. Well, all that being said, is there anything specific that any of you guys can think of that you would want to grab or do?
Maybe get some over-the-counter melatonin from like the nearby drugstore.
Okay.
In bulk, and just get a ton of it and boil it down into like uh, a liquid form and fill like an eyedropper bottle full of the stuff. And then we'll have a less volatile way
Mm-hmm.
of dispatching guards, Phoenix, than having malaria pills doled out to each user in case of emergencies.
I mean, you don't need to highlight to me every time you don't take the malaria option, but I appreciate it.
Okay.
Just want to know that we're making steps.
Okay. Now that we have our plan and we have everything set and good to go, all right. I think we will go ahead and we will call it for today's session, as we are one short, and the next go around will definitely be involving a lot more with Velvet, as she is caught up to speed with everything going on. So that being said, I want to thank everybody who hung out and everybody who stuck around with us today for today's episode of Spy Game with Plans Within Plans. And we'll go around and see where you can find everybody. We'll start with Isla.
Oh, caught me off guard there. Hello, I'm Isla, known as Phoenix Nova in the internets. I do roleplay on a roleplay server, mostly for streaming. Although I haven't streamed recently, but I'll be getting back into it, so watch this space. However, Thursday's coming. We are launching The Lost City of Vadranis on Infinite Roleplay, or Infinite RP _ on Twitch, if anyone is interested. It is a debut homebrew campaign based on 5e systems, so come and check that out. That'll be Thursday coming. Yeah.
This upcoming Thursday.
Yes, this coming Thursday.
This coming Thursday.
29th of April, 8 p.m. EST.
Well, you heard it here first, folks. Go watch it. Go watch it.
check it
A lot of
out.
good people going on that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Next, Bright.
Hi, I'm Bright Dystopia. And you can find me on my channel in all forms of social media at Bright Dystopia. I will be here Sundays being Spy. You can find me in a little less than 3 hours on my own channel after I have napped hard. Mondays, every other Monday, you can find me over on TPK Roleplay, where I will be playing the Altered Carbon game. Thursdays, you can find me on Weave the Tale. I'll be playing Parslings, and Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays, and Wednesdays, you can find me on my home channel, being a dumbass on my own, for my own, with my own. Come hang out.
Indeed. Phil.
Hi, I'm Phil. You can find me online on Twitter at @QuizRafe, although I'm not on there a huge amount, admittedly. You can also find me doing backstage stuff on the Blood and the Thames channel, where we are currently in our season 3 of Blood and the Seven, which is the Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle. For those of you who may not be aware, Vampire is a horror game, so please be warned of that. And in our last week, we just watched one of the player characters socially crush an elder. It was beautiful to see.
All right. And I am Kurt, also known as Covenant the Horrible Alchemist, and you can find me here every Sunday, being the handler for this motley crew. Outside of that, you can find me on Tuesdays, where it's Tuesdays in Tristram, where I stream some Diablo 3 because it's one of my favoriteest games. On Thursdays, you will find me here, as well as on Susanna Grace's channel, as we do Throwdown Thursdays, where we kick the shit out of each other in fighting games, generally. And on Fridays, you will find me from time to time here on Fridays, streaming some FPS of some kind. Lately it's been Apex, because Apex got me hype. I mean, that's just what it is. And so from there, I will say adieu to you and you and you. And hopefully we will see you all here again next week, as we are off to Port Jordan to see what we can see about this particular tanker. with that being said, all right, folks, have a good night, and we will see you all later. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.